So Hands-on 3 deals with nesting. We nest, basically we're going to be putting dictionaries in a list. We're going to be having a list as a value in a dictionary. And then we're going to create a dictionary that includes a nested dictionary. So basically, the examples that are in the section above, we're going to be doing something similar in here. So for the first one, you have to create 3 dictionaries. They should be related because you're going to be putting them into a list. So what I did, dreaming of a vacation, is I did a destination dictionary, an accommodation, and a transportation dictionary. Then I put them into a trips list. And then I just loop through and print it out. So you can do dictionaries on whatever you want. Okay, so um, I chose, to do a trip. You guys don't have to do a trip. You can do pets, you can do music, you can do knitting. It does not matter to me. But how mine looks is I've got a bunch of destinations, a bunch of accommodation information, and some transportation information. Okay, and then I throw them into this list and I basically print each one of them out. And that's what you need to do for the first exercise. For the second exercise, you need at least one dictionary that includes a list. And then you're going to print the dictionary items, and each item in the list needs to be printed separately. So instead of printing the whole list in brackets like we had to do with rivers, you are going to print each of those items individually. So if your river exercise looked like mine, you can actually copy that into this exercise and revise it. Okay, otherwise, you're going to have to come up with something new. But as I showed you with my river exercise, I actually have 2 rivers that have lists for values. So for this exercise, what you need to do is figure out if the value is in a list or not. Okay, if it is in a list, then you need to loop through that list and print out each item. If it's not in a list, then you can just print it out as is. So how this ends up looking is we have key and value that we're retrieving from rivers.items. And then we're taking the value and we're checking the type. And if that is a list, then I'm printing out the key. And then I've got a loop to print out the values. Okay, so for V and value, then this is going to access each one of these separately and print it out. If the type of the value is not a list, then it just prints like normal. Okay, and that gives you a much nicer printout. So here is that example revised. So what I did is I took rivers, I copied it and pasted it into here. This little segment didn't have to change, but I did change the top part, and I also changed the way countries was printing, right? Because I've got 2 that are in a list and that really should be printed with each country on a separate line. So I changed it in both of those places. And I think you will agree that the output is way nicer. So here's how the rivers and country output looks. And then here's just my rivers, and then here's my countries. I think that is much easier to read and understand. Oops, I've got an extra print line in here. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so that is the second exercise. The third exercise is to create a dictionary that includes a nested dictionary for each key. So basically, this is similar to the puppy example. You're going to name it nested dictionaries, and you can store whatever you want. Okay, so it does not matter, what you store. So here is the puppy example. Uh, the other example that's from the book is a user's example. So you actually have two examples to look at for this one. Okay, and you just need to do something similar. Okay, and once you do that, you are done with Hands-on 3.